Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fred Minnick Show. Fred here, and we're pulling one out of the vault. This week's episode is one that was originally intended for my Amazon Prime show that I was doing with Bourbon Plus Magazine called Bourbon Up. That sort of went away, and I got the rights to all the shows that we had in the can. And so I'm excited. You know, my goal was to bring him on to the podcast, and here we are with the band LOCASH. Now, LOCASH, great country band. We booked them at Hometown Rising in 2019, and they crushed it. I mean, they're one of the best country bands I've ever seen live. And the boys, they're a little they're a little wild, you know. So they're like they're exactly who you would want to have a long night of bourbon drinking with. I'm just telling you right now, these two boys are a lot of fun, and you know, you may get in trouble with them. So this episode is awesome. You're gonna love it. So something new I'm going to start doing. I'm going to tell you all what we're drinking in advance, so you're going to know what we are sipping on before you get to it. And if you want to fast forward just to hear our tasting notes or the breakdown of it, knock yourself out. In the description, you should be able to find like where the time code of where we are doing the tasting of those particular products. So we are tasting Weller 12-year-old, Weller 107, a Wild Turkey Master's Keep, and an H. Clark Distillery Bourbon Stout. Now, this was filmed at at H. Clark Distillery, which is now a part of the company Distillery, which is Jeff Arnett, the former master distiller of Jack Daniels. So Heath Clark is a partner with Jeff in that new distillery, which, by the way, H. Clark's gin won Best Gin at the Ascots this past year. So, back on the train of stickers. Like, if you don't have your sticker, the Fred Minnick Show sticker, hit me up on fredminnick.com. That's fredminnick.com. And just let me know your address, and we will ship you a sticker. You will be happy that you have it. You can slap it on your trash can, whatever you want to put it on. Just don't put it on anything that you're going to use in a crime. So you got a gun case, don't put it on that. You know, don't put it on the gun case and then go rob a bank. It's going to make me look bad. So I don't need the police calling me. So after the interview, we're going to go to the mailbag, the Bourbon Mailbag. I've got a great commentary here from Vincent Kawaseki, Kosewski, Kosewski. I think I butchered it. But like I said in the last week's episode, I'm going to start reading stuff on the air. Whether you are listening to this on the audio version or you're watching it on YouTube, you're both going to get some juicy questions about bourbon pricing, stuff like that. So people are gonna hit me up and comment and ask questions about, hey, I got $20. What should I get? Where should I spend this money? So and so forth. So I get a lot of questions like that, and you know, I figured instead of just writing 200 emails a month answering them, I would read them on the air, and maybe someone else can get some use out of it. So that's what I'm up to. But again, this interview takes place in 2019, so pre-COVID. But, you know, LOCASH is kind of one of those timeless interviews, in my opinion. You hear some kind of tragedy and how they kind of made it and everything. This is an interview that if you're a musician, it will move you. If you are someone who is, considering a career in music, this is what it's all about. You're going to have a gut check like LOCASH did, and, now they're a fantastic band to watch live. And you know what? They're dadgum good on the radio too. So I am excited for you to listen to this. It's a great band, and stay tuned after the interview for the Bourbon Mailbag. The Bourbon Mailbag. And again, hit me up on fredminnick.com if you want a sticker. Cheers. But first, a word from our sponsors.
The Fred Minnick Show is brought to you by 291 Colorado Whiskey, by Michter's, by Heaven Hill Brands, and DraftKings. Enter Fred at DraftKings.com for a chance at millions of dollars in prizes with first deposit.
Gentlemen, Preston, Chris, good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
You guys ready to drink a little bourbon?
Let's drink.
What are you in the mood for right now?
Man, I love anything that's oaky. Anything
You like oak, okay? So you like things with age to it.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go that direction.
All right. Well, let's start with a little bit of Weller 12-year-old.
Okay.
Now, in 2008, I wrote an article for a magazine, said this was the best value in whiskey. And after I wrote that story, a lot of bartenders started getting onto it, and then there was a lot of liquor stores that would start carrying it a lot more. And then it was like, a little bit of the bourbon boom started coming on.
Yeah.
And then the Pappy craze was hitting. And then suddenly, this was a bottle that was sitting in the store and not selling, and it was collecting dust. And suddenly it was like moving. And then it was allocated, and you couldn't get it. And now, it takes an act of God and a good friend who's a retailer to buy a bottle.
Yeah.
So, right. So it's a real pleasure to be able to crack this open with you fellas.
Hey.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, take a nose of it and tell me what you're getting.
Taste some caramel in there for sure.
Some goodness.
That's definitely goodness.
Yeah, it has that sweet edge.
No burn. Smells
Now,
amazing.
when you smell it, it might help your olfactory if you do it with your mouth open, because that way it helps you cycle it out a little bit. So you're not just taking in the brunt of the alcohol.
Oh, it smells amazing.
Preston, you got like this look of like you're really connecting with this.
Dude,
you're really connecting with this bourbon.
It's really good.
I mean,
I really like this.
He's getting his nose in there.
Right.
Really.
I'm going all the way in, guys.
Just sniff it up, man. Fine. It won't burn at all.
I like it.
All right, a little nip now. Let's put a little on the palate, see what it tastes like. Oh, that's velvety.
That's great bourbon.
That's just
now I'm tasting what I'm smelling.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'm on that sweet side of things with this one, and I smell almost like a honey, and I taste it. I don't know what it is. It's just
definitely probably some honey in there for sure.
A lot of definitely it's on the sweeter side.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of caramels and vanillas in this, but but then there's that kind of like that next level where it's like the sugars are like brown sugars caramelized. You got some nutty stuff in there. You got some honey. This is
the honey's jumping out to me on this because I'm not a smoky. I'm not the smoky taste fan.
He doesn't like the peat.
This is way up my alley right here.
So if you don't like the smoke, if you don't like peat, so then American whiskey's in your wheelhouse.
Right.
Scotch whiskeys, they tend to have that peat, and that's basically how they prepare their malt.
Yeah.
Bourbon is truly American, a lot like country music.
Right.
Really, really American. It's has to be made from at least 51% corn. The barrels have to be new charred oak, and you're looking at something that is so American that Congress declared it to be a unique product of the United States in 1964.
All right.
So a little bit of proof that Congress can get along once in a while for something good.
Right.
I mean, I love the sound of that. That's great.
So when you sip on this, I'm curious, is there a song that it brings you to? Does this connect you to any of the songs you've written?
This one, I mean, it does connect. Anytime I have something great like this, I have a huge bourbon room in my house. We wrote the song "I Love This Life," and I sit in that room. Yeah, the awards for that song are in there, but I'll open a great bourbon, and look at my life and look at everything we've been through in our life. So it does. Anytime we get to taste something, what we rednecks like to call fancy.
Yeah.
You have that, and you're like, man, I do love this, and everything I worked for came to, right in where we're at right now.
I mean, Preston, nothing was given to you all. You guys worked really hard to get here.
Nothing. You know, and it's we've had to persevere through, like you said, through the tough times. And so when you get to enjoy, you know, a few sips of something like this, it kind of, you reflect on those moments that you drank some of the cheaper stuff, you know, and some of the, you still,
a lot of the cheaper stuff.
I mean, well, I tell you what,
still left on the market.
But I think we drank it all. But you know, like he said, when you have a moment like this and you can savor, I mean, everybody loves to savor a memory, and I feel like this bottle, you know, it kind of opens up that well of those memories again, and you're like, hey, you know, we just released a new single today, and it's called One Big Country Song. We're pumped up about it, and this is one big country bourbon right here, boy.
Right,
this is right on the money.
I think you learn to respect it too. Like back then when we started, it was like crazy on the road. There was crazy stuff we did, and we would just drink. I mean, Fireball, you know, Crazy Honey, Jack, and anything we had, we just took whatever it was and didn't respect it as much. It was just fun. And now as we learn and grow and like, whoa, man, why am I getting these hangovers all the time? What's going on? What's going on? And as you get older, you're like, you start to respect the liquor and respect the taste. And obviously, if you drink higher end bourbon, higher end whiskey, you're not getting that hangover anymore. You're not getting that headache anymore. And I don't know what it is about that. I don't know if it is because it is more expensive. And
I don't know what it is. I also don't know what it is about, you know, when you drink something like this, I take my time with it.
Yeah.
And so
that helps.
Therefore, my taste buds are more open and a little more calm. Whereas, you know, coming up through the bar scene and we were just playing, you know, 3 hours a night, and
we were down
trays of shots are coming up, and nothing against any other, you know, drinks, but, you know, you're just shooting them. You're just going. And then you take a minute to like really investigate, smell it, feel it, you know, get acquainted with it. Yeah, I mean, it changes everything with it. And I think that comes with maturity, you know, and maturity there, maturity here, you know, so.
Now, Preston, you just had your second child.
I did,
in August.
Yes.
How much has fatherhood changed you?
Oh, man, it changed everything. It changed the lyrics and the songs I'm writing. It also, you know, when I go home and I see my little ones, I think about what I'm going to leave behind. You know, am I going to take care of them? And I work, you know, 100 times harder now for that. You know, also just that legacy. Yeah, are the songs going to be something they're proud of? I took my little girl on a daddy-daughter date last night, and we went and got ice cream. And I watched her in the back seat singing all the words to the brand new album. And she misses a couple. She's only 3. She misses a couple, but her mouth's moving to the verses. And then when the chorus comes, her hands go up. And she doesn't know I'm watching. And those moments are, you know, that I'll have with me till the day I die. You know, it's incredible.
That's awesome. Now you all are like brothers. But you're not brothers.
No, we're not blood.
What was the moment where you knew that this was a guy you could rely on, you know, for the rest of your life? What was the moment?
It was early on. I mean, it really was, and I mean this in such a bro way, you know. But it really was like when we met, we started talking, and we would take the microphones out at the Wild Horse Saloon where we kind of met and started, and we would host the shows. We were like the master of ceremonies, and then maybe do a dance lesson, and then introduce a band. But we would go out with 2 microphones and do what, like, I only know that I'm not this old, but my grandfather used to make me watch the Dean Martin show. Like, and I did not know, but I was so young. And then as I got older, you know, I still had the VHS tapes, and I would just click them in. In fact, I watched one 4 years ago in a VHR thing just to watch it again. And you can see them on YouTube now and stuff, but you know, I was just going through that moment to relive my grandfather telling me these 2 are the best, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. And when I had that vision, you know, as a little kid and seeing it now and seeing me and him, there was something that connected on these microphones. And I was like, there's something here. We don't know what it is. I didn't even know he sang yet, you know, and started talking even more about singing and songwriting, and then we worked on harmonies, and I just knew he was my brother. This was it. This was meant. The stars have aligned for what my career is supposed to go and where it's supposed to go.
And you all really too were incredible songwriters when you got together. Where was the moment? What happened there that said where it clicked, where you guys knew that you guys could write music together?
Well, I think we were writing all along, right when we first met, and we could tell there was potential. I don't know if anybody else knew.
On the road
Yeah,
to Ocean City.
yeah. We went to his hometown area up in Baltimore, Maryland area, and we went to Ocean City, Maryland for a night, and we found ourselves on the beach. We didn't know anybody. Nobody knew us. It was freezing, but it was still one of those days that was just amazing. We were like, man, look at the water, smell the salt in the air, everything. It was just amazing. And so we sat back on some lawn chairs and started writing our first song together that day. And we wrote a song called Unordinary Day. And I knew then probably that we had this take on life that was going to be positive, just like I Love This Life years later. And we just needed to stay on that positive highway. Because the music industry is going to throw some daggers at you. They're going to throw some roadblocks, and it's going to come at you hard. Yeah. But as long as we stay on that path, and we got our fair shot at radio, we just continued to write songs. And then one day we sat down to write a song with our buddy Jaron Johnston, and he was trying to get a song on LOCASH's record, and he's in a band called Cadillac 3. And we were trying to get a song on his record. And so I guess when you mix Cadillac 3 with LOCASH, you get Keith Urban. And that was our first hit. It was a 2-week awesome. #1. It's called You Gonna Fly. And that's when the town of Nashville realized what we had been praying about. Maybe somebody's going to see this talent. Maybe somebody's going to see that we have the potential to actually write songs. And then when something like that happens, boom, it changes everything.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Country music has been evolving really for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
There's not many George Straits anymore. That style's not really there. What's happening with country music right now?
I think George Strait is in everybody. I love George Strait. I mean, that was in my car. It's on my dad, mom would play. In fact, we kind of fangirled him when we were in ACMs because it was George Strait. We're like, oh my gosh, George Strait. So the influence is everywhere. I mean, Aldine, huge influence, for George Strait. The world's going to change. There's no Willie Nelsons anymore. There's only one Willie Nelson. There's only one Garth Brooks.
I mean, there was a time when Willie Nelson was pop.
Yeah.
And it was like, shaking up the country scene.
Johnny Cash, the same way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just the last 20 years. It's ever evolving. It's ever changing. And we're just in our time period right now where we're watching it change. And, I think it's cool. I think it's an open door. And
it's starting to come back around a little bit more in country music to go back into that. Like the 90s is coming back. I mean, you could see the trends. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have the 80s trends. Sometimes you have like country music went through like this 90s R&B kind of thing.
It's almost like fashion.
Yeah, it's like fashion. It's trendy. And whatever these kids listen to and connects with them, whatever their parents are playing or whatever they're just hearing on the radio, it's connecting with them. That's what's evolving.
And, and I know this sounds cliche, but as it ever evolves and ever changes, as long as there's truth to it and there's honesty to it, I mean, come on. As long as it's always real.
Sound like you're doing a Bourbon commercial right now.
Then you've got country music. I mean, to me, you've got country music. I don't care what sound you put in there or take away. As long as you have honesty in the lyric and and I can really connect to it, then that's country music for me.
I remember listening to Garth Brooks' Sirius XM channel, and he said country music writing is always about the first line.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
Come on.
First through the last now. I mean, it's like we want every line to be a home run. But you do, because especially right now with the listeners, you're getting maybe 10, 15 seconds. And if you don't have that listener into that, the song's not going to do anything. You just have to connect immediately. And it's it's not saying anything bad to the listeners now. It just means there's a lot going on, and a lot of things we can do right now.
All right, so country music consistently has a lot of songs about trucks and tractors.
God bless it.
Give me your best explanation as to why there's so many trucks and tractors in country music.
That's a good question.
It's heartland music. It's country. It's the middle of America, and now obviously it's getting wider. It started middle of America, kind of the farmers coming out there, and the trucks have always been in our songs.
Can I just say this? The Ford F-150 is the top selling
We do
vehicle
drive
America.
Ford F-150s.
Maybe it's the top selling vehicle in all of America, maybe the world. So
we drive Champion Ford,
Owensboro, Kentucky. But I didn't say that.
And by the way, Duke is a good friend of mine.
So I mean, there's a statistical answer for you. Yeah. I mean, there's more of that truck and that vehicle than any other vehicle on the road. Besides that, the folks who drive them can relate to these lyrics.
When you all are writing music, do you kind of like strategically put things in there because you think that will drive someone to listen to it?
We have a perfect story for you. It's a truck story.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna put it on.
Usually we don't do that. Usually it just happens that way, but we wrote a song called Truck Yeah for Tim McGraw. And there was a guy in a suit that came into the right that day.
So it's Danny Myrick, Chris Jansen, and Chris and me. And we're all sitting in a room getting ready to write.
This guy walks in the suit and he goes, "Hey guys, I just want you to know, just came across the emails. Nobody's recording songs about trucks anymore."
He's like an office guy from like the third floor. What does he know?
No more trucks. Literally, the email came in. No one's cutting them.
We said nobody even really looked up. We were just like,
serious.
"What are you talking about, dude?" He goes, "Hey, I'm just the messenger. All right, don't shoot the messenger. No more songs about trucks."
So Danny Meyer starts grooving out there, and Danny goes, "I said we write a song about trucks." And I was like, "I am in 100%." And Chris Jansen goes, "F yeah."
I mean, you can believe it out. He said, "Fuck yeah." And I was like, and for whatever reason, Jansen was sitting probably this close to me when he said it. He said, he drops the F-bomb. He says, "F yeah." I said, "No, truck yeah." And we all just looked at each other, and all the kind of the fun began right then, because we were like, you know what?
All the pressure. There was no pressure in writing anymore. It's just like, you know what?
Let's shove one up their butt. Let's shove a truck song right up their butt. So that's what we did. And it just so happens Tim McGraw was recording one more song, and everybody in Nashville was trying to get that last cut. I mean, everybody.
We were trying to write it for us.
Yeah, so we write this song, Truck Yeah. We get done in like an hour and a half, and Jansen legit says, "Hey, if Tim McGraw don't cut this song, you better make this a LOCASH single." We're like, all right. Next thing you know, about a week later, something like that. Tim McGraw, boom, cuts the song. And it becomes our second top 10 song we wrote.
Platinum.
Boom, just like that. And so thanks to the guy, you know what? I'm out. Are you guys? You know
what? Let me finish up here.
I was about to take another drink. I'm not usually the first one.
After that song is the first time I bought my Black Maple Hill bottle, 2010.
Let's go to the Weller Antique 107.
And I'll say, Truck Yeah, let's do it.
You want a healthy pour? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. We'll keep on traveling through this journey. I want to get to that wild turkey today.
Okay.
I want to try that today. It's the revival.
All right, go.
And I've been turkey hunting this morning, so I need a little
Did you get a
good
bird?
luck. No, but boy.
But as I was driving here, I seen like 50 of them.
Yeah, they're out. But they were gobbling today. That's what I needed today. I needed to hear that gobble and really get excited.
Does hunting set you at ease? You enjoy hunting?
It's my spot, man.
Yeah.
I took a little picture, a little selfie of myself, and I sent it to my wife, and I said, "Back in Turkeytown, Tennessee," and I'm happy about it. I just felt so good.
I like fishing.
Oh, okay.
I like hunting too. I mean, I'll hunt birds. But
he's gonna get a bird, and we're gonna put the we're gonna put the
So this is a
picture of our birds right here on the front page of this right here. Cover your eyes.
This is the sister magazine to Bourbon Plus.
And I'm ready to read this thing front
I
to
do
back
like
already.
pheasant hunting too. Pheasant hunting's fantastic.
So what I'm gonna do is I see that you have some recipes. I saw an awesome recipe in here for
Yeah, you're the best cook of the two, right? As I
I
recall.
don't know about all that, but I will cook the I will cook
I
the
could grill.
You're the
I'm
griller.
I could
He's a
grill.
grill master, but I do make some turkey jerky. Some
with
wild
with
turkey
the pellets
jerky.
in it still from the gun. So don't worry about
What's wrong with that, guys?
It's true. It's so true.
You ever spit a pellet out once in a while? It's not that big a deal,
It's
man.
natural.
But it was
It's
good that you
natural.
made this honey turkey. It was really
I'm
fresh
into
and
this
you-
recipe right here, this pink peppercorn chard elk burger.
You lost me a peppercorn.
I'm all about this. So I'm gonna get our turkey recipe,
All right.
turkey jerky recipe. You're gonna love
All
it.
right. Oh, I look forward to that. Now, hold
Preferably
on. Wait.
without
You
the
don't like peppercorn?
Back to
Yeah, it's too
Bourbon
spicy
Plus,
for me.
right
Well,
over here.
Well, we got to get to the bottom of this. Why don't you like
You
peppercorn?
want to talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Anything spicy I can't do. I
Oh,
just can't
man.
have a little bit of spice. And
I feel bad for you.
I know, right?
I mean, like jalapenos,
can't do it.
Nothing.
cinnamon.
You
Nothing.
say I just gotta ask her. I can't have cinnamon. Cinnamon's not spicy. Like you say,
It's a different
jalapenos,
kind of
I gotta
spice.
I'm just gonna tell you this: he could sit here and say all that, but he can't eat. He can eat hot fries.
love
Wow.
hot
He
fries.
loves a
And
bag
you
of
can
hot
have
fries. It's like his weakness.
So, all right. So you guys are out for dinner, and he goes up to the bathroom. Are you sneaking in a pepper into his mashed potatoes or anything?
No,
Yeah.
because then I will be the guy at ER with him. I don't want to be at ER that night.
It's happened before.
Wow, it's that bad,
He goes to ER.
man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Hmm.
That's
He's missing out on
It's a
some of the
hernia
best things in
the
life.
chest, Whatever.
Mm.
Had it since I was 15.
He probably eats enough spice for the two of you.
He
from the
does.
sounds of it.
Hot fry sales just shot through the roof, though.
I don't even handicaps, man. Go.
So the difference between this bourbon and the Willard 12-year-old, it's younger
Mm-hmm.
and it's higher in proof. So you're looking at something that's also this used to be really available, but due to the demand, it's not as available. There's another extension that they're coming out with called Foolproof,
Mm-hmm.
which will be even like 13 points higher in proof.
Okay, this is a little smokier.
I think it's the alcohol you're tasting.
You can call it the peat. I don't care
It's
what
not
you call
peat.
it.
There's
This
no
is
peat in
just
it.
a little bit. I'm telling you right now, it's a little bit smokier to me
Stronger.
than this one.
It definitely so that smokiness that you're picking up is probably from that charred barrel.
It's got to be.
In the longer, so this is going to be in the range of between 6 and like 9 years old.
Okay.
This used to be, so it's going to be between 6 and 9 years old. And after like 8 years old, that stuff normally smooths out. So it could be like on the lower end from
Okay.
a composite. So
Because it's not strong. It's not a strong smoky, but I do.
it's like a little backhand.
Yeah.
So
You can
is it like
definitely
a,
taste some more alcohol?
what's
The
that?
alcohol content, you can feel it. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
It's definitely stronger.
Do you feel like the caramel has gone a little bit
Yes.
for you?
Caramel's totally.
Do you get any of the honey?
I'm still there a little bit. I mean, if you're asking me to pour another glass, I'm going here.
Yeah.
100% all
you
day long.
You love some of the sweeter
And
stuff.
it's
That's
not
it.
even that it's sweeter.
It's smoother.
I'm just want less smoky. That's my thing.
Well, they're both pretty damn good.
Mhm. I would definitely order both at the bar, either one.
It's not enough smoky to make me not drink it.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
in.
You're
I'm-
in. You're
I'm
in
in.
for another round.
So, do you prefer not using a cube? Because a lot of people sometimes I like it on a cube.
When
especially
it comes to drinking, so there's there's several types of drinking I do. One is like an analytical tasting.
Mhm.
So if I'm actually assessing it,
And you can't have a cube.
I'm assessing it based on what's in the bottle. If I add
Right.
ice to it, I'm then thereby like changing the flavor of
Sure.
it. So yeah, I when I'm out with my boys, I'll have some ice.
Right.
Sure.
But so this is Wild
This is
Turkey
it.
Revival.
Love
this
it.
is like their
I just heard about this 2 weeks ago.
the
Someone
Master's
was
Keep
telling me
Revival.
about
Yeah,
it.
so this is a product that they finish in a sherry barrel.
And I'm a sherry fan.
Yeah,
So,
he is a
Once
sherry
in a
fan.
while, I'm a sherry fan. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to tell you an announcement. We have an announcement to make.
Oh,
We're gonna make the announcement right now.
We got to wait till we have a drink.
hold on
Okay,
now.
yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, we have to have a drink
This
before we do
sounds good. Is it
Yeah.
another truck song?
this. This
We
is
definitely have plenty of those.
yeah.
We write another one of those, we might get in trouble.
All right. Well, let's Let's find out what this is.
Oh, that smells fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is in an Oloroso sherry cask, which is different from what you'll see on the label, which is PX. PX will be sweeter.
If I get a turkey in the morning, it's because we did this.
It's a new revival.
And I'll give you the bottle so you can celebrate with
We'll
it.
hit one on the way out in the car.
Wow.
Can you?
There's
Wow.
50 of them right
We're
over
not
here
going to make
right
a cover of Cover Your Eyes
It's not
hitting
my
a
fault
turkey
if they
with our
jump out in
car.
front of us.
But I can tell you.
Jerky
These
might taste like
guys-
a little bit
yeah.
of tar in it, but you know,
They were condoning killing turkeys with their trucks.
right? You know, hey, if it
Versus
jumps out in
shotguns.
front of me, that's not, you know.
It's a very different
Wow.
experience. It's a very different whiskey.
It's
Wow.
a smooth whiskey.
Yeah.
For
And
me,
it's-
this is what I define as smooth. This is pretty smooth.
There's not any bite on the front,
Mm-mm.
the middle, back.
The back's got a little bit of not bite.
Less. Yeah, this is
like
smooth.
a black cherry or
So I would ask you to look to see if you can pick up any baking spices such as nutmeg or cinnamon, and those will often present themselves on the back of the palate. So give it another sip.
maybe it's the nutmeg that I'm tasting.
Because this has got some nice baking spices to it.
Not jalapeno. That's where okay.
Yeah, no jalapeno in this one. Although you will taste jalapeno in some.
I got the cinnamon.
This is very nice. And this is actually the first time I have opened it, so it's my
This
first
is
time
a
tasting
very,
this.
very good bottle.
I feel like
Like I'm probably gonna go buy one of these.
okay, so you should wherever the cameras are right now, they should probably zoom in on the bottle of Wild Turkey. And when you open it,
All right.
I'm gonna have a sound for you. You ready?
Got it.
Just get ready. Just zoom in on him, not even on me. No, you're gonna love this. Let me make sure I've got the right sound. We gotta be ready.
Is it strong proof on that one?
So let's just try. I think I know what I'm doing here. Let's go
All
for
right.
this. Just open that bottle. Here we go.
Ready?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Guys,
That's fantastic.
did you hear that?
That is something.
If they could do that, that's brilliant marketing.
I'm
So-
not laughing.
It's
This
That's-
is amazing.
The real shit.
Like I knew it was going to happen, and when you did it, I was like, what?
a
You were
moment,
still amazed.
a moment
I was still
never
amazed.
before seen on this show.
quite.
This is what happens when I get to drinking. I'm gonna
Skills.
warn you.
Doesn't take
straight
me very
skills.
much.
Now
This one-
I
this
have
one
to
will
go
put
to
his on his
I have to go to
butt.
the Opry tonight to see where everything continues
Oh,
to
it's
go.
going to be amazing.
Now I'm gonna tell you this. I don't live very far from here. I live about hop, skip,
5
and a
minutes.
jump. Yeah, right over the river over here. So
There's no river, but it's right there.
there's a river, I think, somewhere. I think I crossed a
That's
creek.
a creek.
I crossed a creek.
No
So here's the deal. This is where you're gonna find me. I need this whole set left right here. This is where I'm gonna start coming to drink.
Nice. Yeah,
I
it's-
don't need my
it
wife
is
to
kinda
know about
nice.
it. I don't need her to know where this is. Don't
It's a good
GPS
thing
it.
this isn't airing, so we'll be fine.
Don't
So-
tell her where it's located.
So we are at the we're at the H. Clark Distillery. Heath Clark is a friend of mine,
Oh, nice.
and
this place has been here for like 100 years.
well, the barn
so they
has.
say. Yeah, the barn.
You know,
I
the
was gonna say,
still
he's
has
really
not,
old.
and he's a part of the community, and he wanted to bring a distillery to Thompson
Love it.
Station, and you got this beautiful Portuguese still here. He specializes in some what I would tell you are very different styles of American whiskey, and he's got a great gin. So if you like gin,
And they do tours, so
They do
stop
tours,
by
yeah.
and do the tour.
So,
Gin makes me crazy.
yeah.
So I think that's a good song. Gin makes me crazy.
Makes me
It's a new
crazy.
In a truck.
Well,
Gin,
if I would.
that wouldn't go well. I don't know if that one will do well on radio.
Well, if you spell it Jen,
That is true.
then you're okay. Gin
But-
makes
but
me
code-
Oh, see, yeah.
I hear this on the
Something.
radio. Gin makes me
Yeah.
crazy. I know the truth
Right.
that it's gin.
crazy. And you're not getting paid for that song. Don't get any crazy ideas over there.
You might get a
No
Okay, it's
worries.
time for our announcement. It's time
Yes,
for our announcement. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm excited
We've been
about
working
this.
hard on this, and only bourbon and whiskey guys are. And
So
girls are
we were
doing
trying to
songs.
get in this exclusive club.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
exclusive, exquisite Bourbon Club.
Like basically
and
all the owners of
an amazing fraternity of bourbon drinkers.
and the owners of Angels Envy, but you probably know who it is now.
Oh,
And
Wes,
we were trying hard to be in this
Before
exclusive
Trades
elite
Guys.
group, and we were making some headway, but we weren't sure. And then we got the call that they needed a video explaining why we feel like we should be members of this exclusive, group. And I'll let Chris, because Chris is more of a bourbon guy than me.
I am.
And but I am a bourbon guy.
Well,
but
there's
I'm excited about
There's
this.
the FBI. There's the CIA. There's B613 that no one knows about. And then there's the Bourbon Mafia.
And we are officially members of the Bourbon Mafia.
Oh,
Cheers.
congratulations.
Hey,
That's
We're
actually
excited.
big.
It's a
I
big
love
deal.
Duke is a member.
Mhm.
Yes.
Duke worked hard to get into this era, and then we started hanging out with Wes.
Have you been through initiation yet?
Not yet.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
We have not been through it yet.
Bring an extra set of clothes when you meet up for
I
them.
can't wait.
So in my world, whiskey is it is starting to evolve into capturing the hearts and souls of musicians, and it's becoming more mainstream. And you all are a part of a festival that I'm curating called
Yes.
Hometown Rising.
Cannot wait for that.
It's going to be a
Keep talking.
great festival. Keith Urban's a part of it.
Yeah, he's small.
Hometown Rising.
Wait,
right
there we are, right there.
That's
Boom.
right.
Right
See?
there.
Not as
Can we
big as
can we
Tim
talk
McGraw.
about the font? Why did our font?
That is not. I'm
we get-
curious as that.
Can we get online too? Maybe.
How does
I don't
that
It
work?
could be right next to Luke Bryan.
We'll talk about that after the show.
The festival you guys have.
We're very
names.
excited about that.
This is
When
a
I
great
say
ad.
names-
Can I just say this? I love this ad.
I don't know too many festivals that have those names.
September
Together.
14th and 15th, 2019, Highland Festival Grounds.
Can we just
Where
read
are you
this?
gonna
Can
be?
you just say Luke Bryan, Keith Urban, and LOCASH at the same time?
Can we say Tim McGraw, Little Big Town, Dwight
Can
Yoakam?
you add LOCASH in there just so it sounds,
I don't know what you're doing
It's kind of like
in
this
September.
Whiskey, this
but that's
bourbon
where
right
you
here,
need to
the
be.
Wild Turkey just opened up. It just started opening up. And
Might have been the attitude you were having toward
I
Preston
think-
about saying LOCASH.
It may have been.
It came
It
through.
may have been, but it really is.
That's the
I
thing
think it's
about
starting to open
sipping
up.
whiskey is like your attitude and your feeling of something. It actually can change what you taste.
I think if you've been watching this whole thing, you're going to see me just get honest about a few things.
Oh boy,
Let's do
here
it.
we go.
Let's do it.
Let's get.
Honestly,
I'm down
keep
with getting
going.
honest. Everyone here all right with
That's
that?
going to take another glass or something.
I like it.
Which, by the way, I have 4 of these, and I just bought the big one. Have you seen the big ones in the store?
Oh, the magnums they call them.
Yes. Oh my God, it's amazing. I just bought a Weller's 12.
And Angel's Envy gave us a special bottle.
The cask.
Oh,
straight.
nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's sending 2 more too, by the way. Thanks,
Really?
Wes.
Well,
Yeah,
then I'll
well,
drink the other one tonight.
So Wes and I are pretty good friends, and his father was pretty special to
Yeah.
me.
amazing.
So that's great that you all have that
and
connection.
you just had a baby.
That's right.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, let's drink some
I mean,
more.
I'm the first
what are we
man to
drinking?
ever have a
You see
child.
me? You see where I went? I was like, let's drink some more.
Congratulations.
So-
Where should we go?
Fantastic. by the
I
way.
would say so. This is
I'm
my.
gonna finish this.
This was my whiskey of the year last year. I wrote a big thing about this for Forbes.
Let's go.
But it's Barrell-
Whiskey of the year.
Wait,
Fit-
you wrote for Forbes?
I write for Forbes. Yeah.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, man. We definitely can afford to be in it, but
Well,
see what I did there?
I am
Can
just
afford to be
I'm
in
just
it?
a
I
writer.
like that. I liked it.
That was good, wasn't it?
I liked it a lot.
No, that's great that you.
I have a feeling that Taylor's going to come over here and
That's okay. Taylor will be fine. She's going to drive us.
Taylor's stuck in traffic. Taylor's in Columbia Pike, stuck in
Taylor's our
traffic somewhere.
manager.
I don't know where she's at.
So she will definitely be driving today. And our videographer doesn't drink either, but he does want to try his first taste of bourbon today.
You might want to
Oh, wow.
edit out that burp. I just burped
You
a little
burped?
bit. Yeah, it happens.
So, but before we have this,
Shit.
Oh,
Guys.
I hope you got that. Please keep this.
Please keep that footage.
Please keep this footage. Please keep this footage. I don't think that's ever happened in your life. Has it happened yet?
Ever.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Oh my God, you got on your white pants.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on the Opry tonight.
Can we pour it on this side too.
And I'm gonna wear these pants tonight on the Opry, and I'm gonna tell them that this is whiskey
can
because
see
we've
how this-
been partying.
You can see how this happened on.
We've been partying, and you got to go to the link if you want to see.
Or go to
I
Amazon
got
Prime.
Let's just keep going.
Okay.
Let's
Go
just
ahead.
keep doing this.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Unless there's any objections
I
from
just
the
want you to
floor.
know-
Whoa! I'm
That's
just kidding.
what
It
he
did not happen a second
That's
time.
what he does.
So,
He does. That's Preston. You
Guys,
guys don't understand it.
I'm a cheap date. I'm a lightweight. I
He
don't
is
care.
definitely
I
lightweight.
admit it.
He's not drunk yet, guys. You'll know when. You'll know. That does not count.
When my shirt gets heavy and I take it off, that's when
It's real awkward.
I'm drunk.
Real awkward.
all right, so we have till his shirt comes off. It's half off now.
He will be gone.
All right, yeah. So I was getting to this point.
There's a little
To it
piece of
earlier.
glass right here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, if anybody's got glass in their cups, I'm
That's-
not responsible for this.
This is
Right in
true.
your neck. Where
This is
it is.
I got a shard in my jugular.
That's amazing.
So bourbon is starting to like kind of catch on to the music scene
Yes.
in a big way. And as someone who's like studied the bourbon, I've written several books on bourbon and everything. What is the feeling within the country music artist scene? Like, does bourbon feel like it's a part of the scene? Is it still competing against Jack Daniels, to kind of own the space? Is it competing against Crown Royal? But where does bourbon sit in the pantheon amongst the country music
I think
stars?
it's growing for sure. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of the songwriters that really get intricate in songwriting and thinking about it, and that's what this bourbon's about. You know what I mean? Getting into it and finding the ingredients, the right stuff. It's a very similar process, and I think that's what people are starting to realize with bourbon. I think it's coming to life, and I think people are really starting to get into it.
I think one thing that when we're out on the road, and we're with some of these. Well, I broke some glass, guys.
I can't help
Chris is
it.
excited about it. I'm holding my
Talk
glass.
about it anymore. Just
Hey.
let me talk.
I'm holding my glass with two hands now, just in case.
I could probably get you a sippy cup if you like.
Let's do that.
That's what he needs.
Let's do that.
Put a nipple on that. We're good. Here we go.
So I feel like when we're out on the road, we will order high-end shit. You know what I mean? And I don't mean shit in a bad way, like in a good way.
No.
Yeah, shit's good. Shit's
Yeah.
a good thing now.
Pappies.
Yeah.
We will order high-end shit. But some of the artists we're with will be like, dude, I've never drank anything like this before.
Yeah.
I've only had like whatever. I won't put anybody
Which
down.
is, I think.
But like
is why
I've had
Bourbon
this or
Mafia
I've had
came
that,
out.
but I've never had anything that tastes like this. And I think that's the difference when Chris and I are like, sharing those moments with folks and willing to spend the money to really dive into the depth of one of these wells. Then it's like, these barrels come to life.
Yeah, we've
And
introduced the Weller's 12 to a lot of people.
So you guys are out there spreading the bourbon gospel.
100%.
Well, that's one of the things we like to do, and that's one of the things we said to the Bourbon Mafia. We want to be involved because we're out here on the road. We're reaching people, and
There are
we
guys
can.
out there that will just have drank Jack Daniels, and that's all they know. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, man, not saying anything bad about Jack. I have a bottle of Sinatra Select. I love it, But
And it comes with a book. That's amazing.
this is true.
Listen, Jack Daniels has a lot of really good whiskeys.
Fantastic whiskey.
A lot of really good whiskeys.
Right.
But
And the presentation alone of the
Yeah.
Sinatra, are you kidding me?
But delivering a Weller's 12, the Pappy's 10. We took Olivia Coppola out for dinner in LA, and we all had Pappy's 10. And, they've never experienced something like that. The
Did you just
history
drop a
of it-
name?
I did. The
Just like I
history
dropped
of
my glass?
it, Totally. Except it's still left over. But you totally get that experience of a Pappy's 10. Some people that have never had it, or, is it my favorite? I like the 12 year, which is the Weller's 12. It's that year. It's that perfect. Black Maple Hill, we opened it up. Our first one was a 2010. We opened up. Duke gave it to me. First bottle ever for me, and I fell in love with it because we love wine. We love wine, and the closest comparison to that was bourbon. And now I've gone to more of a bourbon side.
And I'm going
than
to
wine.
tell you, I'm a Guinness guy. I'm a Guinness beer guy, okay?
Mhm.
They've got a new Guinness that was in bourbon barrels.
There's bourbon in it, actually.
Amazing.
you know what you should do? You should pair a bourbon to the Guinness, like taste them side by
It's a
side,
great idea.
and then you drop both glasses,
Yeah.
and it'll be.
Then roll around.
I like that idea.
Play Twister.
Cheers. I'm in. I'm in on that idea.
I'm scared to cheers you.
I pride myself in being one of the hardest cheerers
He does.
in America.
It's pretty bad.
As long as you
I-
look at him in the eye. when
No.
you're
I
done.
have-
come in hard.
that's for
I
sure.
want to break your glass when I cheers you because I want to feel it. I want to hear it. I want to break your glass.
Well, let's hope we don't break the glass.
I don't want to break your glass, but I want to take it to the. I want to.
When
I
there's a
wanna
good
feel
cheers,
good.
he gets excited. That's
Preston,
for
do you
sure.
like violence?
He's a very violent guy. I'm usually the violent guy. What are you doing?
Chris is tougher than me,
Not violent.
but I'll shoot dirt.
So this whiskey won my American Whiskey of the Year last year that I was mentioning, and I did a write up for Forbes in it, and it
Hold
was
on. Can we just talk about how he can?
Right for Forbes.
No, I mean that as well. But here's to you in the fact that you can honor someone's whiskey as whiskey of the year, as whiskey of the world, probably,
This
if
is
you
the
wanted
Barrel
to.
Craft.
yeah.
That's how you get the scarf in your shirt.
You
I can't wear a
unless
scarf
you
in
do
my
that.
shirt. You get that
He'll drop
by
it
being
anyway.
able to tell the world it's whiskey of the year. Here's to you. That is.
Cheers.
Oh, he came in.
He did it.
Did
He
you see
did it.
that?
Watch the mic.
He came in hard, guys. He
I-
came
I'm
in
gonna go
ready
ahead
to
and say
cheers.
this right now.
Hey, I'm with you. Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
Stay here with you guys.
This is amazing.
This is great TV, but I'm trying to stay with you. This is amazing.
No one's trying to stay anywhere.
I
Let's
am.
just party.
I'm here because I'm getting lost in this bottle right here.
It's a great whiskey.
I love.
It's
I've never had
actually
this.
it's actually a blend. It's a blend of Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana.
There you go. There's your Indiana.
Yeah.
He's
I'm from Indiana.
I
I'm
know.
so excited.
And every time,
Just very excited about this.
hey, this is the truth. Every time we talk about Indiana and whiskey or bourbon, there's good things to say. You know it.
The rye.
The rye.
Indiana. Right.
There's
The
a
rye
lot
in
of great
Indiana.
bourbons made in Indiana too.
Round of applause for Indiana, just for me, because I'm from
Congrats.
Indiana.
Well, in Kentucky, we feel very close to Indiana because
Because you are. You're
because southern
connected.
literally
By land,
and
by a border.
the southern Indiana in Louisville is called Kentuckiana, and so we have
We
like
share a town that we decided to name both.
yeah. It's,
I don't have anything like that. I'm from Baltimore.
listen, I watched The Wire. I know what you have in Baltimore.
That is exactly what we have in Baltimore.
yeah. What's up with
Cheers.
your mayor making people
well,
buy their
I would
children's books?
Rather,
Here we
I would
go.
rather
I
not
love
talk
it. You're
about that.
diving right in.
I am
Answer
not
that
a fan
question.
of the mayor at all. All right, I am a fan of the governor for sure.
Mayor should go.
But-
I start a good chance. Mayor
But I
should
will say this.
go.
Sagamore is up there. From you know what Sagamore is?
I
The
do,
new
but did
rye.
you know that's actually Indiana rye?
Yes.
Can we get
We
some
found
more
this-
Indiana love?
But
It's
just
happening,
put their
guys.
barrels in. You got to give them time.
But here's the thing about that: Sagamore, while they do have
what?
some nice spirit, they've been a little bit, to me, kind of curtailing too far on the marketing side of saying what they are, which they're not. They're saying like, well, we use local water to proof it down. They don't need to do that. The whiskey's really good. They're finishing it in
Yeah.
other barrels.
They did
And
the
actually,
cab barrels. That
It
was
just
really
it
good.
just won best rye in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And the rye comes from the Indiana.
It comes from the Indiana
I'm telling
Distillery.
you.
For
So
now,
that's
for
how
now.
we're connected.
Right.
No, just accept it.
Baltimore,
You are
Baltimore, Indiana.
Baltimoreana.
Baltimoreana.
Hey, that's how we're
Baltimoreana.
connected. Let it
Baltiana.
happen.
Baltiana.
No
Go
one's
there.
trying to steal no shine from anybody.
Just like you did our
We're
Colts.
just gonna share it.
Cool.
He claims I stole the Colts.
My family does.
Like I drove the Mayflower
You
truck.
did.
I didn't do it.
This is one of my favorites. I will go buy a bottle of that right there.
Well, should we have a little? Wait, one more. All right.
Two more? Yeah.
Two more. One
Yeah.
more. All right.
Taylor's driving now. We're good.
So I'm
I have to sing
Oh,
what
you're taking
I
my
have to
car.
sing all the words at the Grand Ole Opry tonight. That's no big
No,
deal.
I got
it.
choruses. I got the chorus. You're all right. Perfectly
So I-
You better be singing harmony on all the
you
verses
bring up
too.
something interesting. I've always wanted to ask the musicians, and I never have, and I spend a lot of time with musicians. Milli Vanilli. How did they lip sync all of their
understand it.
songs and get away with it?
I think they're amazing.
I mean, how could you lip sync all your songs and
We were
get away
just
with
talking
all
about
of
this. Weren't we talking
I
about this a
never
couple
even
months
thought
ago?
about it.
How they got away with it? I think just America was wanting something new at that time, maybe. I am blind and oblivious.
Preston's. Are you going to blame it on the rain?
I'm gonna blame it on the rain,
You might
guys.
do that.
Blame it on the rain. I'm telling you, I don't know how they
Or
did
blame
it,
it on the bourbon.
but I do know that I was working at this place, and this it's just some little candy store or something back in the day, and there was a girl working with me who loved Milli Vanilli, and the word had gotten out that the Milli Vanilli record had skipped during a show, right? So I'm working, and I'm like, "Hey, did you hear that your guys, the record skipped?" And they just ran off stage, like scared, like they didn't know what to do because they were lip syncing. She didn't want to believe it. To this day, I don't think she believes it
There's people
because
that
she
probably don't
loved
believe
Milli Vanilli so much. It was so passionate.
it. They had great hair, good looking.
They had
dudes.
great hair.
Yeah, but
Great
you know,
hair. And you
Dance moves, they had all
Their
of
dance
it,
moves
right?
were not that good, but
It was all right, whatever.
You know,
I mean, for the time, though, they were pretty good.
for the time, it was great.
I mean, that was MC Hammer Pants time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the bar was pretty low.
Dreads and
I
MC
love
Hammer
MC
Pants.
Hammer
What are you gonna
Pants.
get when you mix dreads with MC Hammer Pants?
Milli
You're gonna
Vanilli.
get Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, let's talk about the country and western shirts of that time.
Country and Western.
You know, you'd have the big flower coming off and all
Yep.
the snappies and all that. Country fashion has changed a little bit since then. It's
Definitely has.
become a little modern.
I might actually go
Maybe-
back to that.
Maybe a little comfortable. Maybe a little comfortable. You know, I think, we're moving a lot more on stage. We're not just standing there anymore. So comfort is a
Nothing,
virtue.
nothing against just standing there.
No.
but
like-
I mean,
And those Wranglers back in the day, they were cinched up pretty tight.
Yeah, they're pretty tight. But now we got tight jeans again.
I
Tight jeans are back
mean,
now.
Luke Bryan got
Yeah,
he
he's
brought
wearing
the
some-
tight
he's
jeans
wearing
back.
some tight jeans.
It's okay.
Wrangler now makes overseas. They make stuff like that too. I mean, there's a bunch of people making that. Levi's is making it. Stetson's making tight jeans. They're all coming around.
Are we going to see more feathers?
He
You
has a
want to talk about
feather.
my feather?
Let's talk about the feathers.
Can I get up?
Feather.
Am I? Oh, here it comes. Here it comes from the back.
Look at that.
Let me talk about my
Give this
feather.
guy a raise over here. I didn't even know
So,
there was somebody back there. It
This
scared
is
me.
my hat. I wear this all the time, but this is my feather, and I shoot this turkey every year. Not the same turkey, but what I do is
I mean, it's
He
a tough
sets him up
turkey.
and shoots him
Hey,
every year.
I winked when I said it. I like it. Hey, so what I do is every year is I take this feather out, and then
that
during
one over
turkey
there.
season, I put a new feather in. It's important to me that feather lives with me, that turkey lives with me throughout the next year. So
So
that's what
that
I do.
it's an
Or
homage
Indian-
to the
Indian-esque.
to the
Homage to the turkey.
to the turkey.
Right
Indian
before
homage,
right
for
before
real.
I pull that trigger, and people are gonna hate on me for pulling the trigger. Right before I
No,
pull the
they're
trigger,
not.
I say,
Hold
Let's
on.
do
Why
this.
did you say people
No
are
one's
going to
gonna
hate on you?
you for that.
well, because people get upset because
you're eating it. It doesn't matter.
that's right, turkey jerky. And
Yeah.
look in the new Covey Rise magazine for the new LOCASH turkey jerky.
Without the pellets.
Well,
Recipe.
he's willing it forward.
He really is.
So this
We
is
do this.
Wilderness Trail.
This is an interesting bottle to me.
This
I
is,
would look at this bottle in the store because of the bottle.
It sings to you.
It does sing. to
This
me.
was actually this brand was created by a couple musicians in a different genre in heavy metal, and they went over and one became like a scientist in fermentation, and the other has a heritage in distilling, and they wanted to make a distillery, and so they created Wilderness Trail in Danville, Kentucky, which is where the Kentucky Barbecue Festival is, and this is they're one of the more exciting new distillers
it.
coming into town right now.
Do you know the heavy metal band?
It was
They weren't.
they didn't make it.
Okay.
Yeah, but they played and had fun. But
It's a different smell.
yeah, this is gonna be corn forward.
Definitely
You're gonna
corn.
get some wood. I mean, fellas, you've been tasting like elite whiskeys here.
Yeah.
So now you're getting into more of like the younger style. So this is less than 4 years old. Yeah, I think no, it is 4 years old. It's bottled and bond, so it's 4 years old.
Oh wow, a lot of corn.
What happened to you? All of a
lot
sudden,
of
it's just
corn.
out. Oh wow!
This is a lot of
Came
corn.
over
in it.
you.
Taste it.
There's like a lot of corn.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of cornbread though. It's not.
It's
just,
very cornbreadish.
It's not just like straight.
He's gonna like it. He's gonna like this one.
It's not a
I
corn.
feel like I just had my mama's cornbread.
You really do in this one. It's different.
Nice.
And you can see how much lighter it is too.
That's a really good tasting note. My mama's cornbread.
My mama's cornbread
You know
right
that-
here in a glass.
You know that note, and everything you've tasted in your life is in a bottle of bourbon.
Now, if I can
You
just
gotta-
get my
you
mama's
just gotta
sweet
find the
potatoes in a
notes.
glass, I'm good.
And absolutely, it is lighter in color,
Mhm.
but you'll notice, it's because Preston bourbon cannot have coloring added to it, can't have flavoring added
Really?
to it. So like the color comes from the barrel, that new charred oak barrel, and so every single day that it's
It's a very good
interacting with the
bottle.
wood, going in and out, and so that's 4 years old. It's looking really good at that age, but
I like it.
taste wise, they're right where they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Different.
Good stuff.
Very different.
So now we have one more.
Yes, I'm
We have
interested
one
in
more
this.
whiskey to taste, and that's the house whiskey that's hosting us
Yeah,
right
man.
now.
Okay.
But let's keep this conversation going.
Okay.
So
It's a good conversation. What'd you
We-
name your kid?
That's a great
my latest son is named Julian Joseph.
There's the Julian
Sounds
Joseph.
Julian
very
Joseph.
Romanesque. I like that.
What's your child's name?
Legend. My latest is Legend. Love and Legend.
It's beautiful.
I have a little girl named Love and a little boy named Legend.
Are they like your kids too?
I have three. I have 3 kids, and they're basically. I mean, it's a family. We have 5 kids, is what we tell
We have a
everybody.
basketball team between the
Yeah.
two of us.
Crazy.
So who's the center?
Caden. My boy.
Caden is definitely the center.
He's tall.
He's the
8.
tallest.
So I got Caden, Remy, and Violet. So
When did you move to Nashville?
I moved a long time ago, right before 2000. I was young.
Wow.
Yeah, I got out as soon as I got out of high school, and then my parents got divorced, and my dad was moving on, mom moved on. I was like, I'm moving on. I'm moving to Tennessee, and it's great.
Chris was here before me.
When did you
So-
move here?
02.
Okay.
02. I met Chris within like a week, and the rest is history.
What was the lowest point for LOCASH or LOCASH Cowboys?
Yeah,
Let me preface this. 2011.
yes,
Go.
100%. 2011, roughest year, and this is definitely gonna take a drink for me to talk about this.
Okay.
I will say that.
You want something
let's
you know,
go
or
ahead.
you want to go the new one? Because I
We'll
think.
wait for the new one unless you're ready for that one.
Well, you tell me what you
Let's
want to
go
pour
1
here.
12. That one's great.
Wow. Okay. You
It's
sure you
always
want
good.
something good to help you here? Or you want
Yeah.
something that's a little more harsh?
I think I'll do good.
All right.
I got to stay kind of
This
Sober.
is a moment.
right.
All right.
So 2011, and I lost my dad January 15th, 2011. It was the guy I called every day, or he called me every day at 5 p.m. And we hit that, and that hit us. My aunt died 2 weeks later. Our fiddle player died.
Seemed unreal. Like, just
Knocking down. Lost our record deal. The guy that was funneling the money was embezzling it. Went to federal prison. We had a top 30 song. LOCASH was about to explode. And everything just went boom, 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 downhill. It was November. I lost my house. I lost my car. See, a lot of people don't understand what kind of preferences quickly, that when you do radio shows, our label Stradivarius, which is a great label, it's not their fault, just the embezzling part of the money part was they had no idea either. So we had about 50 to 60 radio shows left to do on the books when our label folded. Already down negative because the people we lost, just depressed. So we said, James Stroud called us, great producer, amazing person. Calls us and says, hey guys, I'm going to call every radio station and tell them Obviously, the label's folded. These boys don't hold this against them. They can't do it because they pay for that. The labels pay for that for us to get out there. And we called them back. Just sitting on the back of the bus. That was it in October or something like that. And we looked at each other and we're like, if we do this, we're going to ruin our career. If we tell these stations we're not going to do this, we're never going to be able to go see them again. So we took every little bit of money we made. I lost my house, lost my car. He lived in a car. I lived in a $400 a month apartment, if that, because I had a little boy, so I had to do something. And we took all that money and tried to do 50 to 60 radio shows. What we ended up doing. And that is the reason we still have a career. I promise, to this day, we say that. And anybody else in their right mind probably would have said no, because they're not willing to lose everything, especially with a child. So we sat around late 2011, November, December, and I put in a call to Orlando Police Department to be a police officer, because I got to look out. We did all the shows for radio. We got that done. I was like, Preston, we're still going to do this, but somehow I got to commute because I have to make money. And I got a call from the police department in November 22nd or 23rd, and saying that I got invited down to the police academy. And I looked at my wife and I was like, baby, I really don't want to do this, but this is my second what I wanted to do. And Keith Urban called 2 hours later.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
Kept everything going. And then from there.
I'm a veteran. And when you are in a moment of shit, you bond with one another. Preston, was that the moment where you really felt bonded to Chris?
Yeah, I mean, the whole year of 2011, it got so dark and so tough. And so just the hits just kept coming. And it felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. And then when Urban finally called and said that he was making, You're Gonna Fly a single, it was just like this burden was lifted off of our chest. Like we had been validated finally. Like maybe we were right all along when everyone else around us maybe didn't believe. And that's the moment when you knew. I mean, Urban, he's an icon.
Number one.
He's not just an artist. He's an icon in music, not just country, but all genres. And then the song soars to number one by February, like late February. It goes number one for 2 week number one. And I think that was the moment that it was like, yes, we weren't wrong. We were right.
You remember after that went number one, Jeffrey Steele, who was our mentor, he said, now you got yourself a number one song. You're about to make some money. You're not going to live the rest of your life on it, but you're going to make some money. You can quit now, take that, keep doing what you're doing, or grab that money and reinvest it in LOCASH and try it all over again.
It was like this long note. It was on my car under my windshield wiper. And I walked out from the number one party and it was right there. And it said, you've had bus fires. You've had, family members die. You've lost everything. And now and it was like this, just this like hit list of all the things that we had been through. And then you get to the last line and it says, and now you have a number one song. Do you cash this in and walk away and say, we were right? It was a success all along. Or do you reinvest for round two? And that's a moment, boy.
It was a great moment.
That's a moment. We look at each other and we're like, what do we do?
I don't think it was a question.
And
There's
boom.
no splitting you up now.
No.
No, there ain't
Nothing's
no
come between you two now.
Right.
There was no splitting us up before that, but moments like that just put the nail in, and you're like, here we go.
So that was round two. You have a new album out. You had a new single come out today. Mm-hmm. Where are we at now? We round 5, round 6?
Feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good.
One big country song. The whole wide world is.
In shape. Very in shape. That's what it
In
feels-
Australia,
Don't let this fool you, but no.
Australia
Number one in
loves
Australia,
you,
right?
that's it.
Crazy.
In
We're big down under.
That we are. That we are.
Might have been drinking, but I can remember that.
You know what's funny is that Australia is a huge bourbon market.
Really?
They drink a lot of bourbon down there.
Good to know.
So maybe you don't know, but you have some subliminal messaging going on. Picking up the
That's
bourbon
incredible.
drinkers.
It's good to know.
So let's get on to the taste of our host today,
Okay,
and that's H. Clark Distillery.
let's do it.
We have another
H. Clark.
glass. We should have one more glass around there somewhere.
That Weller 12, boy. They did something right with that. Now, does everybody know that's like the 12? The whole. Is it true?
What's that?
That the
this-
Pappy Van Winkle?
So yes, Weller and Pappy are the same recipe.
Mm-hmm.
We're good, Jessica. I just poured out his glass. So Weller and Pappy are the same recipe, but they are different in terms of like how they, when they choose the barrels and everything. But it's the same recipe. And
Fred, you ain't messing around. You got books and magazines.
yeah, I've written 7 books. I have a magazine. I got a podcast. Got a TV show, and I'm now a partner in a TV network.
So tell me about,
It's a
we were
lot of
talking
fun.
to the people, there's a couple of Japanese whiskeys, which are very scotchy to me,
Yeah, that's their intent.
but kept American whiskey alive for a while.
Oh yeah, actually, that was my research that came through with that.
I was talking to some of the Japanese people that
Speaking
made
of
it.
the source.
I have an entire chapter on that. Like people forget like how important the Japanese were to
It's
American
like
whiskey.
huge.
When Blanton's and the small batch collection from Jim Beam, they were all created to capture the Japanese market
Really?
because that was the only consumer base in the world that was drinking bourbon at a double-digit rate.
Wow.
Year after year in the 1980s and 1990s. And then the Japanese market crashed in the mid 1990s, and the distillers were kind of left flat-footed. Like, what do they do? How do they rebound?
Right.
What do they do? And so they had to focus on domestic markets.
Hmm.
And one company called United Distillers, now Diageo, decided to
That's great.
sell their brands, and that would lead to the likes of Jefferson's and Michter's and
And
Van
that.
Winkle to be able to come in and grab a bunch of those premium barrels. And
I will say we love some Jefferson's Ocean.
Jefferson's Ocean is a unique product, that's for sure.
Fantastic.
It's cool.
Trey Zoller, the founder, that's also a country.
Don't
fan.
you text with him?
Yeah, I
Trey?
text every now. We texted like once or twice. I didn't want to bug him. I'm a fan
Yeah,
of him.
he's a good guy. You should ask him about the time he wanted to feed me to sharks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like I really need to meet this guy.
Well, no, I gave him a bad review, and then
Feed
we
you
were
to
having
sharks.
Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the bad review on? Which one?
I don't remember.
Was
But I
the
gave
him- know.
French cab?
I gave him a review he didn't like, and we were just having some fun. I said, I'd really like to come out to, with you on one of these ocean liners.
Right.
He's
see
like,
what it's
yeah,
like.
I'll
He's
feed you
like,
to
yeah,
sharks.
you'll go swimming with the sharks with the.
That's
quotation
amazing.
marks.
Have you had their Pritchard?
So
Hill?
we have a little fun.
Jefferson Pritchard Hill.
Yes,
That was really decent. That's a great.
Pretty good.
that one. I don't recall where I put that one, but I've had most of their products. They're
Now I'm gonna read
Trey-
your review, so I know.
Dude, I'm
I
telling you.
know. This is crazy.
After
Duke
this,
warned us
we'll-
about you. So
he did
yeah,
In a good way.
man.
He didn't warn you
Yeah.
about it.
But Duke's a good man.
he is great.
Really
He's a
man.
good man. He
He's
makes
great.
it low cash for
I will say in Tennessee, we did
150.
do a show at Dickel. We had the Dickel whiskey.
Okay.
And I'm not the fan of the 12, and I know this. I've talked to them. It's Diageo. They're all owned by there, but I had their 14-year.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's really good.
It is so.
Their 17-year-old's delightful,
It
and
was
actually,
17. It was the 17-year. I think
they,
that's what it was.
they did have a 14-year single barrel too. So they
Okay, I
yeah,
think it was
so-
the 17. It was their oldest one they ever
this
had.
actually has a little Dickel in it. The Tennessee
Really?
Distillery
Which
is
probably
for Dickel.
why I like that one a lot. Because it was the 17 because the little bottles.
It's got a little
Very-
Dickel in it.
We got in trouble for saying
I
that.
can't help
think
but
it's
laugh
crazy.
every time
How
I say
is
that.
How can you get in trouble for
Well,
saying
now
it's got
they're
a little
using it.
Dickel in
Now they're using
Everybody
it.
gets upset with me when I say there's a little Dickel in it, and then I giggle.
Yeah, come on.
Well, we said it on stage. We're like, you got to put a little Dickel in it.
It's the name of the brand. What are you gonna do?
I would run with it.
I
I would totally run with that.
but they're shy. So this is
but they're shy.
Yeah, they don't want to own the
I
fact.
just like how you say
Dickel.
it, how it is.
It's one on the Dickel.
Take 2 letters off, and you got
Yeah.
Dick.
Right.
You know,
Scary.
God's honest truth.
There's so many moments where when you say things, I look right at the camera serious. There's got to be a sound effect like.
So this is made here where we're sitting now from that still right there.
Portuguese chef.
Portuguese still, and you got to think about what these distillers, these young distillers, that they put everything they can into these facilities to get people to like it, and it's a hard road to hoe because it's not like craft beer where the craft distillers have a leg up in quality. Usually the craft guys have about 20 years to catch up to someone like this.
Sure.
And this is expensive.
None of my neighbors are going to believe I got drunk in here. I'm going to drive by here.
Is really good.
There's great restaurants right here in this area, and I'm going to be coming to a restaurant.
Have you had this before?
This is my first time having their small batch.
This is it right here.
You're gonna love this one.
Right off the top, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't have any defects. So
Sure.
when I'm nosing anything for the first time, I'm making sure it doesn't have like armpity smells.
I would not drink anything that has an armpit
something like
smell.
that.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'll be a worst critic ever because if it smells like an armpit, I'm out. I'm out. Bye. You got an armpity
But
smell.
I could see the
Bad
sweat.
distillate will come
The
off
sweat
like
comes-
Who
armpit.
puts a Y on armpit? Armpity.
And the taste is very very nice.
It is
There
very
it is.
nice.
It's coming
very
in right
smooth.
now.
Yeah.
No armpity
it's-
smell. Comes in
It's
very
actually
nice.
got some sweetness to it. It's definitely grain for it, but it's got a lot of sweetness to it.
There's a
But
caramel
there's-
kind of thing in this
But
one.
there's no flaws in it. And the
Right.
thing about
You saying
whiskey.
it's flawless?
Well, what I mean by flaws, I mean like
No sweaty armpits.
like alcohol creation flaws. Like there's when you something like this, they have heads, hearts, and tails, and the sweet spot for the distillate is the heart.
Okay.
The heads and the tails, they separate and they'll redistill it, or some people will sell it off to ethanol plants.
Right.
And the more of the heads you get in there, the more of kind of like a butane lighter, more of a armpit, some of those kinds of notes you'll get in there. The more of the tails you get in there, more of like a drywall, kind of a wet paper, some of that kind of stuff that you get in there. So it takes like real skill to separate that bottle, and a lot of the smaller distillers do not have that.
This doesn't have this.
So
at
this
all.
this has nothing but positive notes going for it. So
I'm going to
it's very
call
exciting.
this man the scarf.
Yeah.
When the
How are
scarf
you not in
walks
the Bourbon
in,
Mafia?
and you don't know that he's
Do you not want to be in it?
Yeah, I've been.
Or you're not allowed to be in it?
Well, no, I've been invited to a lot of those things. I just don't join them.
the scarf.
But
now
I
you have to join because we're in.
But now it's
This is
now,
a trio.
now it's mandatory.
This is mandatory.
Now I
Are
should.
you
now
gonna
that
come
we're
into
members,
We have to
we
do
can
it.
both put in our letters. For you.
Now it must happen.
But I'm sure all the guys are going to do it too. But you have.
Well,
options.
I do. Not everybody likes me in that world because
okay.
I say something's good. They
Not
get
everybody
pissed off
likes
at it.
anybody
we.
anywhere.
That's
So
right.
do we. I
It
mean, we
says
call
today's
all those guys
world.
that own their own distilleries about other bourbons and say, help us with this one. They'll tell us. That's how we met Old Medley.
This is really good.
It is really good.
I
Yeah.
do like this one.
I knew you would.
This is made
insane.
right down the street from you.
So where do you
Remembering
get
the
it?
words of the Grand Ole Opry tonight, not so good. I'm not going to do that.
Hold on.
Right, we're very
Earlier
wrong.
he said he wouldn't have a problem. Remember that?
Yeah. That's my brother.
I'll be ready.
Next
when
thing you know,
when
he's
it's
on the
showtime,
glass.
I'll be ready.
He
When
will
it's
be ready.
showtime, I'll be
I
ready.
hear you.
We have been a lot worse, I promise.
Yes.
Well,
And we
gentlemen,
have Taylor driving, so we're fine.
that is true. Taylor is driving,
Yes.
and Jessica's driving me, so I'm good.
There you go. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jess.
There you go. Perfect.
Can we take one of these barrels with us?
She's back there going like
that's-
this, like, no.
That's
Okay,
canon.
so tell me about Tennessee bourbon right here.
Mhm.
Is made right
this is
right
made,
there.
It was made right
A
there,
small batch.
and then aged up there. They actually aged their whiskey right above us. There's like a
So where do you buy that? Because I love it.
you're getting a bottle to take home.
Probably right here.
Ah,
Yeah.
How they go get that on a plane? I'll just tell
When
them.
you need one, let me know. I'll just drive up here and get you one.
Yeah, they
Thanks,
sell. They
buddy.
sell
Right
them
around
there,
the corner.
but they also sell them in the liquor stores around town.
I can put it in my suitcase. I have a wine thing I can put it in.
And after we get our turkeys, we're gonna be on Covey Rise. Did
I
you
love
hear that?
That was the Covey Rise
Ding!
Boom.
That was the cover story right
you
there.
gotta hear, guys.
Probably should turn my phone off.
Well, it's a blessing it didn't ring the whole time, or did you have it on vibrate for a reason?
Hey, look
That's
what
the-
happens when you
that's
open
the
that
Barrell.
and pour
Don't
that.
forget me. Come on.
Hey,
Do you mind if our videographer is going to have his first taste of bourbon here?
I'd love that.
hey,
Yeah.
can you open
He's
that
gonna
wild
need
turkey for him?
He's getting no. He needs a Weller. He doesn't need.
I just wondered if you could open the wild turkey one more time.
Give me
Maybe.
the Weller 12.
I got one. Don't worry.
There you go. This is
Get a glass?
Thaddeus. He
All right.
runs our video and
I'm gonna open the
photography.
wild turkey.
This is one of the smoothest bourbons. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Preston can't have any more.
Oh, it's a little late, guy.
That's all he's trying to do is make the sound of the turkey.
It's a little late.
So,
You sippy sip this one. You all right? You all right, buddy? He's living in Miami.
I wish you would have let me coach you through it a little bit.
Yeah, let him
beforehand.
coach.
Yeah, right.
All right, this is a little bit like making love.
Come on over
Oh,
here. Come on over here.
Come on now.
He's about to get sexy with it.
Kiss it.
Daddy knows how to get sexy. Trust me, we've been on the road with him. We see where he goes.
All right. So from a first timer's perspective, it starts with analyzing the color. When it goes into the barrel, it's as clear as the water from your tap. So every day it's going in and out of that wood, just penetrating that wood. Sometimes it leaks out a little bit. It happens.
He said penetrating and leak.
That
She's key words here, guys. I mean, that's the best one right here. I'm not.
you do what you do what you want. I could do half and half.
I'm basically a critic now, so let's do the wild turkey.
I don't feel right. Wait.
Oh,
Do it.
I didn't
What are
hear
you
that.
doing, man. Where's your phone?
well, you have to wait for me to do it.
No, don't worry about it. It's all right. It's
Okay.
all good.
You're going with the strong one, huh?
Why did you?
I actually like
Chris,
that one.
why did you drink it all when we're supposed to do like
you
a
didn't
toast?
give me enough.
Oh well, that's fair. That is fair.
I want to do the Tennessee bourbon actually.
Wow.
Dude, I'm very impressed with that.
Wow.
There
Very
you go.
impressed.
Made right here, Chris, in the Portuguese still.
I mean, that's right now second to that Weller 12, maybe tied.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, when I hear you all speak about your careers and the struggles you had in 2011, the loss you had, and where you are now, I feel like you're examples of like perseverance
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
believing in yourself. And at the end of the day, when we celebrate life, oneself, we bring up a good bourbon.
Amen.
So I'd like to toast to your careers
Thank
and
you.
everything you all have done and everything you've accomplished with a little bit of whiskey.
Hey, I
Roll
like
with
that.
Cheers.
Come on.
Cheers.
We're in. And he comes in clanging.
That's good. Is that good?
Mhm.
I'm gonna get a bottle of that.
That's my wild turkey.
I need to
Good
take
luck
that
right
home with me
there.
Right there.
Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna shoot a new turkey feather right here.
Man, that is a delicious bourbon. I did not know Tennessee could make something like that. It's
Wow.
fantastic.
That's going to make Heath very happy.
It
You
should
know-
be. That's great.
I'm going to tell you right now,
Heath. Good job, buddy.
he's a lot like us.
Yeah.
He is.
That he's trying to, he's fighting. He's
Right.
out there trying to get someone interested in his
That's what
whiskey.
you have to do
So maybe
every
we
day.
help- maybe we help them fight. You know?
You'd like him.
Yeah, I'll put some.
I'm telling you, I live a mile down the road. I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna have.
Love it.
This is where we're gonna hang out from now on.
I was very impressed with the barrel. Turkey was it was different. Very different.
Maybe we can get us a LOCASH barrel up here.
We definitely.
How about the three of us come in?
Why don't we start our
and
own?
do like a low cash
We picked the best of the best.
line out of here.
Right.
I
And
like it.
We just have some fun.
Done.
I
Right
like
down the
it.
road from you.
I
Yeah.
think we do it.
Let's do it.
Do we use black barrels? Oh, they're trash cans. Never mind. So we'll do it. That was a little bourbon joke. Sorry.
He knows his stuff, man. He really
I don't know,
do.
man.
He knows.
So you're like hidden in like one of these like Facebook groups as like some random
100%.
guy.
I love that. All you see is like, I love that. Oh, that one sucks. I love that.
Oh, that's great.
So
No, man.
follow us to the Grand Ole Opry
Yes,
tonight.
we
see
love
what
our
happens.
bourbon, guys. We really do.
Unfortunately,
And,
it's not live, so that won't help.
That's
oh,
all
yeah,
right.
it's okay.
But I will say this: you guys you're in that next phase.
Thank you.
Like
it feels it.
we're going to be talking about you, like we talk about Little Big Town,
Thanks, man.
Keith Urban.
Because we're in the Bourbon Mafia.
No, just because
Just kidding.
because you have it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That means a lot to hear
Yeah,
you say
man,
that,
You know,
man.
you have it. Like you guys are there, and you're ready. I mean, at Hometown Rising, we're so excited to have you.
Oh,
and,
we're excited.
And like, I can't tell you, like, of all the bands on there that I wanted to talk to, I want to talk to you guys.
Thanks, man.
I promise you. We're
Well,
better
from the
drinkers
man
than
who dubs whiskey of the year,
and writes on Forbes.
I'll take that.
Come on.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for
Cheers.
coming.
Thanks for having
Hey,
us.
thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
This has been fun.
How about Preston dropping that glass and just shattering it everywhere? I remember that very well. It shattered, and we had to pick it up. I couldn't stop laughing. My gut hurt so badly. We were laughing so hard. But that happens sometimes. You have a little too much, and the Glencairn just whoop drops on out of there. So you gotta be careful when you are doing the tasting, and you've had a little too much, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, big shout out to LOCASH, and thanks for their patience as I've kind of had that interview in the vault, as I do many others. But yeah, so that was originally supposed to be for Bourbon Plus, Amazon Prime series. Now we did do a feature on LOCASH in Bourbon Plus. So if you are not a subscriber to Bourbon Plus, make sure you go to bourbonplus.com. Great magazine. While I'm no longer the editor-in-chief, I definitely support my good friend Carla Carlton and what she's doing there. But anyway, so now to the Bourbon Mailbag. Bourbon Mailbag. Okay, that's probably some bad music there. Okay, so we got a question in here from Vincent Kasek. I'm just going to say Vincent. I apologize, Vincent, for butchering your name, but it's going to happen. I visited 76 distilleries and counting all over the world and have learned that the correlation between price and quality is weak at best. I will buy a Van Winkle or Blanton's at MSRP if I get a chance, but I will not wait in line like most people do. I like most MGP whiskeys, but don't pay $90 for them. Cheers. For Wild Turkey 101, Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, Eagle Rare, and Knob Creek. Now, there is not necessarily a question there, but I think Vincent's take is absolutely correct, and that is kind of like an OG mentality of bourbon right now, and that is, hey, why in the world would I spend X amount of money when the SRP, which is the suggested retail price from the manufacturer, is $59? Why would I spend $200 on that bottle if it should be $59? But it is what it is, It really is. But there is no way that the bourbons that are marked up to $200 are $175 better than like Elijah Craig, Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, Wild Turkey 101. But we don't really have a way to, associate price in a tasting. However, I do have a little mechanism that I use, and that's focusing on how many points on your palate is the whiskey hitting. So if the whiskey is like saturating your tongue, maybe you can formulate like, how many parts of your palate, does $20 equal, and then kind of multiply that. But that's something that I think is always a struggle for a critic, for anybody reviewing whiskey, is like talking about the price in the review, because if you taste it blind, you don't know what the price is, you know? So, and that's kind of the goal. You should be trying to taste things blind in like competition. And there is no reason why some bourbons are $200 when they should be $59. You know, actually, the reason is people want to make money off of it, and there's a lot of costs associated with that particular product. But, yeah, I mean, like you were saying, Vincent, Wild Turkey, Evan Williams, Eagle Rare, Knob Creek. I'd throw in a few others, Four Roses Single Barrel and Elijah Craig, for example. I'd even go out on the limb and say Woodford Reserve, Old Forester 100. I mean, there's just so many good values out there. You don't have to spend a ton of money on bourbon. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. I totally agree with Vincent. But if you have a question on bourbon pricing, what you should get in a particular range, or you wanting an answer for an idea for a gift or whatever, you can join the Bourbon Mailbag questionnaire. Just hit the contact button on fredminnick.com. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you would be so kind to hit the like button on YouTube and or give us a kind review on however you listen to this podcast. But that's going to do it this week, folks. Please be safe out there. Cheers.